Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mary Ashcraft. You can find me on Instagram at that same name. I have everything linked and spelled down below. This is my Flosstube channel where I talk about mostly cross-stitch. Well, everything cross-stitch, but a little bit about my life too. This is episode 20, which I think might be a milestone of some kind. I don't know. And today is February 25th, 2021. We got a lot to talk about today because I did not have a video last week. Oh my gosh. I've been exhausted, y'all. Like so exhausted to the point that not even sleeping through the night makes me feel energized and refreshed. So I needed something to give away last week because I just had so much to do, and I was like, okay, if I could eliminate one thing, it'll make things a little bit better, and that one thing was my Flosstube video. But that means we have a lot to talk about today. So let's just jump right in. Although, okay, I will mention first, we are in a new location again, but I think this will be the final resting place for where I film because I now have a dining room table. For the longest time, like since law school, so like since 2016, I have not had a dining room table. But on Valentine's Day, we decided to spend it gathering the materials and my husband building a table. So now I have a table. My daughter actually likes eating at the table. I like eating at the table. It has kind of shifted our like hangout spot from the couch to the table, and I like that a lot. So I will have to play around with lighting because this seems really bright, and I know if I move, it's gonna go all wonky. So you'll have to bear with me as I've kind of figured things out. I also need to figure out how to decorate this wall because now that we are spending more time in this area, all I have right here is a picture of a barn, and it just looks so empty by itself. So I need to figure that out. The idea is to have enough cross-stitching FFOs to be able to put them on the wall. Anyways, I hope everybody had a good Valentine's Day. If you celebrate, we really don't. Kathleen talked about it in her latest video, Situation Normal. We don't do like grand gestures. Like we do little things all the time to show each other that we love each other. And so Valentine's Day is just kind of another day to us. So we didn't really do anything, which is evinced by the fact that we spent our day building a table. Oh, okay, another thing. I started Bridgerton yesterday. I'm hooked. Okay, whoever said it's a mix between Gossip Girl and Downton Abbey, spot on. And I love both of those shows, so no wonder I'm obsessed with it. I started it yesterday, and I watched an episode this morning, so I've gone through 6 or 7 episodes already. I stayed up way too late last night watching like 4 episodes. Yeah, it's addicting, and it's so intriguing, and I feel like Eloise. I'm like trying to figure out who Lady Whistledown is now. Anyways, so I've been watching a lot of Bridgerton, and it's hard because I want to cross stitch while I watch it, but then I find myself stopping and just watching TV with like, you know, my needle mid stitch, and I'm just like so entranced by it. Go figure. Okay, so I have a couple finishes, some whips, and then if we have time, I'm going to talk about March Madness. I'm on a little bit of a time crunch because I have to finish within an hour, and I feel like if I go into March Madness, I'm going to go over an hour. So if we get through everything and I have enough time, I'll talk about March Madness in this video. If I don't have enough time, I will film a separate video and I will post it probably the day before March 1st, so that way it's kind of like an intro to March Madness. So my first FFO 2 weeks ago, now I don't remember if I had this finished. I have my notebook here where I keep track of all of my stitching. Oh, I finished it that night. Okay, so I finished my little ghosty. I made him into a pillow. This is Be My Boo from Top Knot Stitcher. I love this. I love this. I don't have the colors with me, but I posted this on my Instagram. So if you want the colors, go look at that post. This was charted with Dinky Dyes, but I don't have any of those. So I just did my own DMC conversion with whatever I had in my stash. So I made it into like a little pillow. And I just used like that polyfiber or whatever stuff, pillow stuffing. And I'm gonna cover up where I've sewed. This is the back. This was just a fat quarter from Joann's. I sewed it. I really don't care how the back of this looks because it just sits on our dresser in our bedroom. This is one that, even though it's Valentine's themed, I'm going to keep it out all year round because we love ghosties in this house. If you have a blanket over your head, you're a ghostie. So, and my daughter loves this too. She thinks it's so cute. This FFO is not finished, or not finished. It's not perfect, which like this corner is like more up, you know, it needs to be like down. But that's okay. You know, I'm still a beginner with my sewing machine and cutting fabric and measuring things. So, you know, as time goes on, I'm sure my pillows will get better. But, you know, this is pretty darn good compared to what I would have attempted to do had I not had a sewing machine. So, this is Be My Boo. So cute. I love this little guy. Okay, this one's technically not finished, but I'm finishing it today, so I'm calling it a finish. This, I decided to start it a few days ago. This is the Lizzie Kate Flip It Bits for March. And here is what I have. So all I have left to do are the coins here and the border. This comes with buttons. So there's buttons right there. And on the chart, the buttons go in the M. I'm not gonna add those. I don't really feel like they're necessary. I think it'll be fine with just the coins that are here. So I have my colors. The only thing I don't have a color for is the border, which this is charted in like a whitish color. DMC 712. I don't know what that is. But the Weeks is a whitewash, so I'm guessing it's like a white color. Whoa, I'm like super bright. So, so the M is DMC 367, that is the called for. The arch, is 500, which was also called for. The shamrock is 368, which was not called for. It was a different blue color. The pot is just 310. The purple is 28, which was not called for. It called for something else. And then I'm going to do the coins in 726, which also was not called for. I didn't have any of the ones that are not called for. I just didn't have those colors, and I didn't really feel like going out and buying them in that moment. So, and then this is a 32 count even weave. I thought I had kept the packaging. But it's like a tan gingham. I believe it's a Zweigart fabric. And so I really love this. And by next week, I should have it FFO'd because I'm planning on doing that this weekend so that I can have it up for March. This was such a cute, like, quick stitch. I did miscount right here. The C and H are up one more than they should be. But I just kind of figured out how to do the shamrock around it, how it's supposed to be. And then I moved the pot down to where it should be? I think I moved it down 1 because if I had, whatever, I don't really care. I moved the cauldron, I think, down 1. So that's, yeah, so all I have left are the coins and the border. I don't know what I'm going to do for the border, but white does not show up on these fabrics, so it will probably be maybe a light yellow or a light green is what I'm thinking of. I don't know. I am excited for St. Patrick's Day. You will see another St. Patrick's Day thing that I'm going to do for March Madness. St. Patrick's Day has been a sore topic for me since college. And if you want to know why, you can message me on Instagram. But I decided to reclaim my day because I am Irish. My heritage is predominantly Irish, English, and Scandinavian, but a majority is Irish. My ancestors are from County Cork, and and it's like my great grandparents, like they're not even like that distantly related. So I'm reclaiming my day, St. Patrick's Day, celebrating, and we're going to forget. I mean, honestly, we'll never forget, but I'm gonna reclaim my day. And just so you have some context, Julie from Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World, in her latest Flosstube, she's talking about the book Know My Name by Chanel Miller. She was the survivor of the Brock Turner sexual assault. And I have not read that book because of what happened on St. Patrick's Day. So, but actually, after hearing Julie talk about it, I'm starting to get closer to wanting to read that book. I mean, I want to read that book, but I don't think I can handle it emotionally. Anyways, that just took a turn that I was not expecting. Anyways, St. Patrick's Day, I'm reclaiming my day. I will celebrate from now on. I think I started last year because I was tired of reliving that day. So I want to stitch all of the St. Patrick's Day things. I want to stitch all the things. I mean, in general, I want to stitch all the things, but yeah, I want to stitch lots of St. Patrick's Day things. So, and I mean, it goes beyond St. Patrick's Day. I'm Irish. I want that heritage. I want my kids to know that heritage. My husband is he's like mostly Guamanian. Okay, I say mostly, even though it's not necessarily true. His dad was born on Guam. His dad's whole side of the family is from Guam. And that's why my husband and my kid's last name is a Guamanian name. But his mom is Irish and English. So my kids are a lot more Irish and English than they would be had he not been. Anyways, that was a really big tangent. So that's a heritage I want my kids to know. So I want to do more St. Patrick's Day stitching. Okay, so that's it for finishes. Let's get into whips. My first one, I only worked on this for one day over the past 2 weeks because all I did was fill in her clothes. So this is Dreaming Girl by Barbara Anna Designs. This is a stitch along. And all I did was fill in her clothes, which I am doing a conversion just on her clothes, really, to make her look like Merida from Brave, because I'm going to hang this in my daughter's room. So the blue that I'm using is 3765. And I do kind of wish that I had done the two-tone thing and picked another blue, but I don't know. I'm fine with the way it looks now. I'll open it all the way. I'm fine with the way that it looks now. I have not filled in her hair and I have not done part 2 yet. I'm going to, once I finish March, this will be what I pick up so that I can work on part 2, because I believe part 3 comes out on March 1st. So this one, this is such a fun stitch. I'm keeping this in my bag from my friend Dawn. Oh, such a beautiful. Oh, this fabric is Black Ice from Be Stitch Me, 14 count Aida. It came in the Winter Solstice box. I think she sells it on her website now, but I'm not positive. But it's a really gorgeous fabric, and I like it a lot. Okay, the next one, another stitch along. I got a lot of stitch alongs going on, just saying. So I finished part 2 of the Wreath from Frosted Pumpkins. Part 3 has an ornament right here and a Santa head right here, which is so cute. And I can't wait to stitch it. It looks like a lot of stitching, but people have been finishing it so fast. So I think this will be one, you know, if I can get a good, like a couple days of just solid stitching, hopefully I'll be able to get part 3 done pretty quickly. The goal for my stitch alongs is just to keep up with them. You know, I try to do it the best I can, but I also want to work on other things besides stitch alongs, because otherwise I'm just working on the same things over and over and over, and that is boring to me. So, you know, the goal is it doesn't matter if I finish it the day of that the new one comes out or the night before. As long as I'm keeping up with these, that's all that I care about. I'm using everything as called for. This is a Cricklewood Crossings bag, and this is a Floss Buddy from Bags Plus. I really, really love these. So it holds all the bobbins, and then it has a zipper pocket where I put my scissors and extra floss. So this is one, and I have another Cricklewood Crossing bag coming. That was a custom order. Very excited about that one. Okay, so then my last whip is my Sense and Sensibility Sal. So excited about this one. This is Stitching Book Club. So the book this month, or for this time, is Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. Now, I am not an Austen fan, but I wanted to do all of them anyways. And this one in particular, she said that there's nothing in the pattern that is distinctly Sense and Sensibility. Like, they did Pride and Prejudice last year or something, and that one had, like, the names of everybody and had a lot of distinct motifs that, if you looked at it, you're like, oh, Pride and Prejudice. This one is not. This is just a floral pattern. And so this is part 1. This is what part 1 looks like. There's flowers. This bag is from Little Boat 88. Yes, because I, for some reason, always get her and 805 Stitcher mixed up. This is Little Boat 88. She's a Canadian project bag seller. I love this. I also have a matching smaller one. Okay, so for this, she came out with 2 versions for colors. So the called for is a blue fabric with white flowers. So basically this color, right? Blue fabric, white flowers. But she recognized some people don't want to stitch on blue and would rather stitch on white. So she did a conversion with blue flowers and replacing the white with like purples. I decided to stitch on another one of these gingham fabrics. So I'm doing the conversion for white fabric. So here's what the whole thing looks like. And this is going to be a portrait style of some kind. I don't think it's the entire length of this fabric. I think it's slightly smaller, but I don't know how much smaller. And then, give you Lisa. So here is, oh gosh. Every time I look at this, it just makes me happy. I love flowers. Like, my dream as a child was to have a massive flower garden, and my dad always told me no. So like flowers are just, they just bring me so much happiness. So I love this. I think these are supposed to be tulips, which are my favorite flower. And this was a lot bigger than it looks. Like you look at the pattern and you look at the picture and it doesn't look like it's going to be a very large part, but it was. It took me 5 days. 5 days to finish this. But I enjoyed every second of it. Like I'm really excited about how this one's going to turn out. And I haven't seen very many people doing the white fabric conversion. A lot of people are doing the blue fabric one. So I'm also, excited that I'm doing the white one because, very few people are doing it. So it'll be nice to see the contrast of like my friends who are doing the blue fabric one and then myself who's doing a white fabric one. So again, this is like the same 32 count. It's like a gray gingham, Zweigart based. I really enjoy stitching on this fabric. It feels nice when you're stitching on it. I can see the holes well. So this is one where I wish I just had like a bajillion of things of this kind of fabric because I would always stitch on it. Plus I like that it goes with my home decor. Like I do the whole farmhouse theme. And so like, oh, and here you can see the difference. Hopefully you can see the difference between the tan and the gray. I get this at Hobby Lobby and I shop there out of necessity because we don't really have much. We don't have very much here in terms of cross-stitch supplies. So if I need things, Hobby Lobby is the place that I have to go, unfortunately. So that's that. Oh gosh, I just love this one. I'm really enjoying all of the stitch-alongs that I'm a part of. But this is one I'm really excited to see how it turns out. I haven't bobbinated them yet, but I'm keeping them in another Floss Buddy. So these are the colors. I think we've used all except for the very light purple. Yeah, the light purple is the only one we haven't used yet. Oh, this is for that fabric. So, yeah, but it's so 32 count, yeah, and it's, I'm doing 2/2. Whenever I do any even weave or linen or anything, I'm always doing 2/2, because that's just what I like best. Okay, haul. Oh, okay. So I have one thing of haul to talk about now, and then I have a couple projects that I did. Ever since I started following Clay by Kim on Instagram, I have swooned over her needle minders. If you do not know who Clay by Kim is, go look at her Instagram or go watch Rocio's video, Kokohama Stitchery. She has like a bajillion of them. They're so beautiful. They are so beautiful. And I've never been able to score one, usually because I'm picking up the kids around the time that they drop on the website, which is around 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and you gotta be lightning fast. But last week I happened to still be at home because my husband was picking up the kids, and I set an alarm and I got one. I got a dragon. Fastest shipping ever. So she does her sales every Thursday, 6 p.m. Central or Mountain Time, and I got a shipping notification either that night or the next morning, and I got it on Monday. So very fast shipping, and she's in Utah, so that's probably also why I got it so quickly. I got one of her St. Patrick's Day dragons. I swear I'm not crying. I'm just so freaking excited. So, oh, and then here's the back. That is the magnet holder. Okay. It's a very strong magnet. See? So beautiful. Oh gosh. So beautiful. The only thing I worry about is this antenna free balling it. That's the only thing I worry about. I feel like eventually that's gonna break off, but you know, I have littles. It is what it is. So here's what it looks like. Close up. Oh gosh, it is so beautiful, and I will show you how it works. I have not put it on a project yet because I've been stitching in hand a lot recently. I learned how to stitch on a hoop, and then I switched to Q-snaps, but I learned how to stitch in hand late last year, and it's helped me be a lot faster. So there are certain projects I do in a Q-snap or a hoop, but lately everything has been by hand. So this guy, you can see it's hollow, and I have my needle. So we stick it in here. And I think it's close enough to the magnet where it shouldn't fall out. I haven't even done this yet. Nope, it doesn't fall out. See? So that's what it looks like with the needle in it. Gosh, this is so cool. She's having another sale tonight and doing more St. Patrick's Day ones. And she has smaller ones that look like clovers or shamrocks with like a ladybug or a bumblebee on top, and I really like those. So I'm tempted to try to get one of those tonight. But I do have to pick up my kids, so that might be one of those things where I set an alarm and then I pull over on the side of the road. YOLO. Okay, so we have two things to talk about that are firsts for me. I have never dyed fabric, and I have never made a project bag. That changed this week. The first thing that I did was dye fabric. I did it outside, which I was a little concerned I was going to mess it up by doing it outside, especially since it was kind of cold. So I think my water wasn't super, super hot. It was hot when I brought it outside, but by the time I filled up all of the things, I don't think the water was that hot. So I had three colors that I did, and then 4 pieces of fabric that I dyed. So I will go through each one. Okay, I will say I followed Kathleen from Situation Normal. I followed her tutorial for dyeing fabric. It was the easiest one for me with what like materials I had, containers. I watched the dyeing tutorial from Stitching with the Housewives, the one that, do you hear that helicopter? That's loud. The one that Priscilla and Chelsea did, but theirs was a long process. Theirs was like super involved and using things I did not have. So I did Kathleen's. It turned out great, I think, for my first time. I have not ironed these because I forgot to. And so, yeah. The first one I did is this one, Rose Quartz. So here's one side. Here's the other side. Okay, this was the very first one I did. And I learned from this one about how much dye I need to add into my containers to saturate the whole thing, because you can see there's some white spots on here. So I'm debating whether I want to re-dye this either in pink or in tan. I think the pink would just obviously make it more pink, but I think the tan would make it kind of like a dirty pink. So I'm debating how I want to re-dye it, whether just pink or tan, or in a different color, like in a blue or a green. But this one has like a very nice mottled effect. So I really, really like that. And I did it with my daughter while my son was napping, and she loved it. She had so much fun watching me do it. So then this one is using teal, and I'm using grit dye, by the way. This is teal, this one turned out really well. So I really like this one. The color is not, it's a brighter color. It's not muted the way I feel like the camera is picking it up. It is brighter. So, and I have no plans for any of these except for one. There's one I know exactly what pattern I'm using it for. This is apple green. And again, this color is brighter in person. The color on the camera is not totally picking it up. This is the one I actually have a plan for. I'm going to do Honeybee from Stitching with the Housewives. I saw somebody on their Facebook group do it with this color, and it was beautiful. I loved it. And so it's charted to be on black fabric, but you know me, I don't like stitching on black. So I'm gonna do it on this one. I'm very excited about that. So then the last one, those were the 3 colors that I had: rose quartz, teal, and apple green. So for my last piece of fabric, I mixed all 3 of the colors together. Although after I mixed them all together, I realized I think I had more green in there than anything else. So this turned out really green. So this is my last one. I love this. I love this one a lot. And I don't know if you can tell, there's kind of lines on here. I think that's because I had it drying on our table out in the back. But I had like things under it. But for some reason, whatever. So I love this color. Okay, that's a pretty good representation. Let's try this with all of them. That's a pretty good representation. Maybe blue one was the one. Yeah, so I dyed fabric a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. A couple days later, I was at Target, and I don't think it's all Targets, but at least that Target had Rit dye on clearance, or some of them on clearance, so I picked up tan and denim blue. They had some other colors, but I know that denim blue was a color that a lot of people use, and it gives a really nice blue color, so I picked up that one. So that was my fabric dyeing experience. I'm really happy with it. Oh, this whole fabric, it was a big piece of 28 count even weave. Yeah, and it was white. So if you are interested in dyeing fabric, but you are nervous or you don't know the best way to go about it, I will link Kathleen's video down below so you can go check it out. She explains it very well, very easy to follow. Highly recommend. So then the next thing is my project bag. And I followed Liz from Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. I followed her tutorial. Again, that is another video, very easy to follow. I was more nervous to make a project bag than I was to dye fabric. And I was so nervous. My heart was pounding the entire time I was making it. It was also my first time ever sewing a zipper. So it was a project of a lot of firsts. Let's just say that. So, I have a couple changes and that I will mention when I show you, but that is another video I will have linked down below. She does it. She explains things very, very well. After I had made it and I had posted about it, we were chatting for a second, and she did, I told her that I had a little bit of trouble with the zipper getting my needle to go over it, and she said, yeah, technically you can sew over it, but you also run the risk of breaking a needle, which is what I thought was going to happen. I've had a needle break on me before when I was going through too thick of fabric with bias tape. So I really did not want to break a needle, and when it kind of caught on the zipper, that's what I thought was going to happen. And she said, usually what I do is just kind of walk it over. And I said, okay, good, because that's what I did is once I went over the first side and it snagged the second, after that I kind of just like I would sew up to the teeth and then skip over the teeth and then keep going. So let me cut it first. Oh my gosh, this is my first project bag. So, okay, so slightly different than what Elizabeth did. So Liz, she has it where this fabric, your front panel, is the same on the back. I really like this one too, so I wanted to be able to showcase enough of both, and I felt like with just this, you really don't get what this fabric looks like. So I did the front panel with this one and the back panel with this one. And it's bees and they're so cute. This zipper, I love this color zipper. I had several different colors I was choosing between, like pink and white and black, and I thought this green one, which I think is called Misty Spruce, I got it from Joann's, was just the perfect color for it. Like not too loud, it just accented very well. So then, look at that functioning zipper, my friends. Woo! Okay, so then the inside is the mirrored. So the opposite of this is the gray, and then the opposite of the grays on the outside is the pink. So the only thing that I did not do is hers calls for a fusible fleece lining on the inside, or batting, or whatever, interfacing. I keep calling it batting, it's interfacing, whatever, same thing. So she uses a fusible fleece interfacing on the inside between the two layers of fabric. I did not have that, and I didn't really feel like going out right then and there to go get some to be able to do this bag. I have bags like these from Nell from Little Yellow House Crafts. These do not have any interfacing in them. And so I kind of thought, well, I have bags like this. I don't think you absolutely need interfacing. And so there's no interfacing. But I was at Joann's yesterday and I had a coupon for 50% off interfacing. So I did pick some up that she used, the fusible kind. And so I'm going to make some bags with it, and then I can kind of compare and see which one I like best, and then go from there. And then I also sent a picture to my mom, and she's like, if I picked out fabric, can you make me one? So we're gonna do that. So she's gonna pick out fabric and I'm gonna make her one. It's not perfect. The one spot I keep looking at and I'm always like, oh, is it gonna pop out, is right here. This, and I think it's based on where I centered it in between the fabrics. This guy is on the outside, and I always feel like this is going to pop out where I cut it. Which, I mean, it's not the end of the world. I'm not giving this project bag to anybody, but I think in the future I would try to center this in such a way, or cut the fabric down in such a way so that it's not, you don't see that right there. Although when I look at these have it right there. So maybe she just doesn't cut it as low as I had cut it. Oh, I don't think so. I think I feel it like right here. So anyways, this was a fun week of firsts. And the reason I finally made my project bag, other than having a tutorial that I could follow, was I had ordered a set from Amazon that had a cutting mat, a rotary cutter, one of those like acrylic see-through like measuring things, and clips. And it was, I think, just under $50. I'll link that down below because I thought that was a really great set and I really like it and I'm enjoying it so far. And it fits our new dining room table perfectly. So, yeah. Oh gosh, I'm so excited. I'm not somebody that like, I don't ever really say that I'm proud of myself for doing things. Like after my very first deposition, I said I was proud of myself because I got through that, as terrible as it was. But most things I'm like, you know, I'm not proud of like the work that I like, proud in the sense that I'm going to go around being like, I'm so proud of myself for doing this, you know, but making this, I'm freaking proud of this. Like, I'm such a beginner on the sewing machine, and so, you know, and I want to get better. And the only other time before this period of time in my life that I've sewn anything on a sewing machine was when I made a costume for Comic-Con with my friends, but my friend's mom was like the head of our group, and she's like a master seamstress. And so anytime I had a question, anytime anything was too difficult for me, like, she would just do it. So I know the basics, but I'm not, like, knowing them and applying them are two different things. So, yeah, I'm so proud of this. And I have a lot more of this fabric left. So I'm going to make more of these, with this fabric. I'll probably do the opposite. So have the gray on front with the pink on back. I have some Christmas fabric. I have some fabric that has Paris themes on them. So I intend on making a lot more bags, and hopefully cut down on the cost of buying bags from Etsy. So, okay, looking at my time, I'm going to do March Madness as a separate video. I am going to go through my bracket. I'm going to show you all of my pairings and explain a little bit about what March Madness is, so that you can follow along. A lot of it will take place on Instagram. So if you are on Instagram, go follow myself, the Steel City Stitchers, all of their individual accounts. And then they've been reposting people who have shared their brackets. So I will post that video. Oh gosh, March 1st is Monday, right? Yeah. So I will probably post that video on the 28th of February so that it's ready to go for March 1st. And you have an idea of what to look forward to for me for my bracket. So that's everything that I have. Oh, my little shout out. So my shout out this week goes to Erin from Perpetual Projects. I started watching her channel, I think a couple months ago. It was, if you watch her channel, it was when she didn't have a car. So I lived for those updates of like, well, don't have a car still. Because she was in a car accident, I believe. Everybody was okay that I know of. But she had to get her car fixed and then had a rental, and it was like a whole debacle. So, but I love watching her. Her FFOs are amazing. Last month she had one of a cardinal in a frame, and on the back she wrote this beautiful poem or saying that she had found online. Just absolutely beautiful. This week, the FFO that I just am so in love with is she did the chart by Park Hopper Bart that is a recreation of a like tapestry sampler in the Norwegian village in Epcot, I think, at Walt Disney World. I think that is what it is. And she put it in a frame with this beautiful floral fabric as the background. But then she also, the piece was too small for the frame, so she added all these ribbons at the bottom. It just looks so beautiful. And the way that she puts things together, they don't look like mine. My, like, you can tell this is homemade. Like, if I saw hers in a store, like, I wouldn't even think twice. I wouldn't think that that was homemade. It was beautiful what she did. So, she, just all of her projects, her FFOs in general are just beautiful and really creative. She did an ornament for her husband that was a cube. So cool. Like just go look at her up. Just go look her up because her FFOs are just great. She also has an accent. She lives in Florida, but her accent, I can't quite place it. And I spend most of the video just sitting there like, okay, is it Boston? Is it New York? Is it Jersey? Like, and then I listen to the way that she says certain words. I'm like, oh, that's Boston. That's got to be Boston. And then she'll say another word. I'm like, yeah, but that sounds Jersey. So one day I'm sure I'll figure out, or she'll say or something where she's from that she gets this accent from. But I love her accent. And it's like you really only hear it when she says certain words. It's not like a constant thing. So it's fun. So so highly suggest Erin. I really enjoy her channel. And if you want another like wholesome video that is just so adorable, and reminds you that love is real, go watch Craftivating Creations, her newest video. Her name is Sean. Her husband's name is Brett, and he did a video where he bought her accessories and surprised her. And they're all things that she needs and either she hadn't thought of or she had been wanting. And it's just such a cute video. And we always laugh because her husband's name is Brett and my husband's name is Brett. So they're like their own little club. And I think she needs to teach her Brett how to bobbinate so our Bretts can have a little club of bobbinating partners. So anyways, that's it. That's all I got. And so watch out for, in a couple days, my video about March Madness. Otherwise, I hope you have a great week and happy stitching. Bye, everybody.